UFC 312 happened last week, and I just want to say I'm very sorry because this video is a week late. A lot of things have been going on my part, and I'm very sorry about that. But all I'm going to say about last week's main event is I told you so. Everything that happened, besides Sean Strickland getting finished, pretty much happened. I said that Dricus was going to dominate Sean, and he really did. He won every single round. It's arguably 49-46, but that's on a generous day if I wake up and I'm in a good mood. But Dricus won every single exchange. He won every single round, and he looked fantastic last week. I'll get into him later, but the reason why I want to get into Sean Strickland mainly is because a lot of people are saying he's very defensively sound. And all I'm going to say about him is Sean's style failed in this fight because of two reasons. And it's one, his style just doesn't work in rematches. Once you fought him, you already know what to expect. A jab and a teep. That's all you really have to worry about. And really good leg checks. His leg checks are really fantastic. And two, the thing about Sean is that he is so passive. Once he's stuck in his specific style, the Philly shell, jab, teep, he's not going to change that. He's so used to that. He's so comfortable doing that. And his coach, Eric Nixick, said, Sean, we're down 3 rounds. You need to change it up. Try something else. And he just stuck to it. There's no urgency to really shift it to second gear with Sean Strickland. Once he's used to doing his usual style, he's not going to change it up whatsoever. He's just going to accept that it's not working for him, and he's just going to lose. That's really all he does. Now, I sound like a British guy. What makes Dricus du Plessis' style so effective? Now, I watched the Mighty Cast and MMA Guru. I watched their episode, and what they said about Dricus pretty much sums it up perfectly. A lot of these fighters, they have their specific styles. They have their, they get into the rhythm and they do ba 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 ba. Dricus doesn't have that. He has no rhythm, no style. He just goes in there and tries to seek a finish for 25 minutes of the fight. No matter what happens, he's going to be on you for 25 minutes. He's going to try to seek a finish no matter what. And that's what makes Dricus so effective and so dangerous. The fact that he has no rhythm. Because a lot of fighters, once they've figured out their opponent's rhythm, it's easy. It's smooth sailing from there. It's easy to pick him off or find a finish. With Dricus, he just does whatever the hell he wants to do, alright? In the first fight with Sean, he kept on throwing these leg kicks that kept getting checked. And he did not care. He just kept throwing them and throwing them and throwing them. He did not care no matter how much it hurt. He's so stubborn, which is what makes him such a fantastic fighter. I've never seen a fighter, so stubborn that things aren't working for them. And he just keeps on trying it. Now, what I noticed in this rematch, though, is that Dricus kept going to the body with a lot of strikes. He might have saw Usman's video where he basically explained how he beat Sean when he fought him at 170. Dricus kept doing these really good body kicks, and I was amazed. He had a beautiful question mark kick that just kept landing on Sean. He had a beautiful oblique kicks. I was like, this is a completely different fighter than what we saw last year. This guy is championship material, okay? I cannot believe, and it's just insane to me because I think 2023, after the Brunson fight, a lot of people were saying that, Robert Whittaker was going to absolutely dominate this guy. And now he is the middleweight champion of the world. And now, this is a funny sport because this guy, like what Yuri Prohaska said earlier, he said no rhythm, no technique, just straight something. He said straight violence. I don't know what he said. But he was basically calling Dricus ass. And I found that hilarious because no matter what you want to say about Dricus' style, you can't say it's ass because the only reason why it looks bad is because it doesn't land. But when it does land, you can say, oh, that's a really good strike. Or, oh, that's a really good check right there. That's a really good body kick. That's exactly what Dricus does. It's just that when he misses, he looks so goofy. And the cartoon sound effects, the piano falling, all those sound effects just start playing whenever he misses. But when he lands, And when he lands, Dricus has really good power. Like, this guy's power, I don't know how the fuck... Sorry, I'm not supposed to cuss. But I don't know how the hell he landed that right hand on Sean. And it's just so funny to me how, like, this guy is arguably on his way to middleweight GOAT status. And he has what people say one of the ugliest fight styles ever. I mean, me personally, I love it. I love people like Dricus because he has basically no rhythm, there's no specific skill. There is skill, but there's no, like, it's not flashy like, you know, the Robert Whittaker, the Israel Adesanya's. It's not like that levels of flashy, but he does not care. He just wants to go in and finish you and then leave and bounce. You know, that's all he wants to do for 25 minutes. And I really respect that because not a lot of people are willing to go into the firestorm and really seek a finish now. People like Sean Strickland, they're comfortable point fighting. And that's all they'll do for 25 minutes as long as it gets them the win. Now, a question a lot of people are asking is, who should Dricus fight next? Dricus already called for Hamzat at the post-fight press conference, which really made me respect him a lot more. A lot of people, you know, me and myself included, think that Hamzat should not be fighting for a title. He only has one ranked middleweight win, and that's Robert Whittaker. I think Sean Strickland, unfortunately, I have to agree with Sean Strickland here. He said that either Robert Whittaker looks like the greatest fighter ever or he looks like he's shit. I kind of agree with him there, kind of don't, because, you know, with Paulo, he had a really close fight with Paulo Costa, and Izzy just demolished Paulo Costa in under 3 rounds. Sean Strickland kind of just dog-walked him for 5 rounds straight, even though, like, that fight was hard to watch. If I'm being completely honest, the fight that should have been made in June for UFC 302 should have been Sean versus Robert Whittaker. Paulo, this matchmaking makes no sense. Paulo Costa loses to the 3rd ranked fighter, and then 4 months later fights up in the rankings. Like, how does that make sense at all? Like, I don't know how that makes sense. So, yeah, they kind of were doing... They know what they were doing, Robert Whittaker. It's kind of nonsense. They could have just made Robert Whittaker versus Sean Strickland, you know, a title eliminator, but I don't know why they didn't do that. But anyways, back to the topic. I just had a brain aneurysm. Dricus is going to fight Hamza next. Me personally, I think it should be Nasruddin. Nasruddin has more ranked wins in the last 2 years. In the last 2 years at middleweight than Hamzat does. Hamzat, I don't know. Dricus and Hamzat is going to be a money fight, obviously, because Dricus is going to talk so much shit to Hamzat. And Hamzat's going to like, hey, fuck that guy, man. Fuck that guy. Like, that's all he's going to really be saying. He doesn't speak that much English. I want to really see if Hamzat will make weight, though. That's what I'm really more concerned about, is if Hamzat will make weight. He really struggled to make weight last time, and then they extended the weight cutting period. And he barely made it. I think it was like 186, I think he was. But, yeah, DDP is going to fight Hamzat next. And if he gets past Hamzat, I feel like Dricus should absolutely fight Alex Pereira at 205. I mean, I feel like that makes the most sense. Yeah, Dricus should fight Hamzat. With the Hamzat fight, what it really comes down to is if Dricus can defend himself for 8 minutes, the first round and the second half of the second round. It's a 5-round fight. If Dricus can really, you know, defend Hamzat's takedowns, or if he can really wear him down for the first 8 minutes of the fight, all I'm saying is that it's going to be a really long night for Hamzat. Dricus is someone that's just going to be in your face for 25 minutes. He's not going to accept stuff that doesn't work for him. He's just going to keep going forward and forward and forward until it works. And Hamzat went to war with a former lightweight in Gilbert Burns. He got knocked down by him too. And Dricus, honestly, I think Dricus has a case of hitting harder than Gilbert Burns. So he hits harder than Gilbert Burns. he has a better chin, dude. Drickus has a cinder block for a chin. I don't know, like some of the kicks he was getting kicked by Izzy in their fight. I was like, how is this guy still standing? Like, what the hell is going on? Now, I'm really excited to see Drickus versus Hamzat. I think that's a knowing them. Hamzat's not going to fight till later in the year, so it's probably going to be an Abu Dhabi, an Abu Dhabi headline, or it might be an August pay-per-view. I don't really know. Last year August was in. Where did they fight in August? August was Australia, and then 2023 was Boston. Yeah, 2023 was Boston. What was 2022? What was 2022? I don't know. But yeah, I can't think of where UFC 278 was. How could I forget? That was at in Salt Lake City. It might be a Salt Lake City card. Who knows? Because I don't think Hamzat would want to fight at Salt Lake City. He has one of the worst gas tanks ever. So yeah, Sean Strickland should probably rematch Nasruddin Imavov. I think Nasruddin might just wait because there's no point. He's right now. Nasruddin is the #1 title contender, and Sean Strickland got moved down to #2, I think. And I saw people on Ariel Helwani's show saying that Sean should fight someone like, I think Anthony Hernandez, or who'd you say, Michelle Pereira. How are you guys journalists and can come up with such a stupid take like that? Sean Strickland is in the top 5. Oh, no, they didn't say Anthony Hernandez. They said Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel. Sean Strickland is still in the top 5. Why the hell should he fight deep down into the rankings in Michelle Pereira, who just lost to Anthony Hernandez? He just got absolutely beat. And I don't even think Michelle Pereira's in the rankings anymore. And if he is, I think he's 15. So what is this matchmaking? What are you guys thinking? And Bo Nickel, just, bro, I don't even want to get into Bo Nickel, bro. I'm so sick and tired of hearing this Bo Nickel talk. So yeah, Sean Strickland, I don't know who he's gonna fight next. Maybe a Robert Whittaker, maybe. Robert Whittaker Izzy rematch. I don't think Izzy should fight up in the rankings either. Izzy just got knocked out by Nasruddin and he just got finished by Drickus. He should fight. If I'm being honest, Israel Adesanya should fight deep in the rankings, like a Brandon Allen, a Kyle Barara. I you know who I'm talking about. I'm just saying his name really badly. That's all I really have to say about Sean Strickland and Drickus. Who do you guys think they should fight next? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all later.